Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today is part 3 of our Nashville trip. This was purposely done to meet the family farm, and this is like many parts of the video. So I'm going to put the links of the other parts of the video on the description. So we're still here inside the farmers market trying to do some window shopping para naman maiuwi na remembrance, and also to get some ideas about crafting. Maganda din kasi makahanap ng mga ideas from other places, and also yung makakuha ka ng local product and try it, because some places will have different taste or different way of preparing some stuff compared to our local place. So that's Karel Lake. She's having fun with that huge boba tea. So on the left side is a Korean food or restaurant, and yung may mga ivy, yan, yung may yellow na paint ay ang Jamaican food. So kinda have a long line, and we find it difficult to choose which food to eat since we haven't tried Jamaican food. But I'm surprised that they don't have really like a strong taste. So it's just like the normal food that we have in the Philippines. So they have a variety of food where you can get 2 vegetables, one of that main dish, and then it's either the vegetable or that pasta that you will get on the other side. So I got some plantain, rice, and I forgot the name of that beef. I guess that was caldereta also that they call it, but that's made of beef. And then we stroll outside. This is across the farmers market. This is one of their historical place, and in front of it you will see their state capitol. So we also went on the other side. These are the time capsules that were mentioned earlier by the conductor. And this is also a dog-friendly park. So here we are in the bus, and here's Lake Family Farm.
Sunday, there's more than 100 vendors who set up and sell their products here.
Oh,
so this side
plants.
closest to us, they have more like the homemade goods,
greenhouse,
furniture, clothing, artwork, jewelry, all that good stuff. That farther side is where you find more of that fresh produce coming straight from the farmers. All the way down to the end here is a big nursery where you can buy your favorite plants and flowers. Now, when we came rolling in, those of you that have been with me, I told you, there's a lot of symbolism here. Basically everything we see represents Tennessee in some sort of way. There's a couple more really cool things I want to show you. To your forward left, there's a giant flagpole right there with our state flag on it. It's surrounded by 8 smaller ones. So there's 2 of these. There's one on this side, there's also one on the other side. The 2 giant ones represent 200 years of statehood. The 16 surrounding them represent Tennessee being the 16th state to join the Union. In between them, where that guy's walking right there on your left, there's a bunch of circles in the sidewalk. Those are fountains. Great place to cool off on a hot summer day. There's 31 of them. They represent our 31 major rivers and waterways. Now, one more piece of symbolism. As we come back out to James Robinson here, if you look straight ahead, halfway up the hill, there's 2 cookout balconies. They give you great views of Bicentennial Park. Again, there are 2 for 200 years of statehood. There's also a giant stairway leading up to those balconies. Anybody want to guess how many stairs there are?
1,000.
I'm so sorry. I realized that was very misleading. It's only 142, folks. Now, the reason that they only put 142 steps there is because that's how many it took to get up the hill. Believe it or not, folks, that is the only thing that's not symbolism here at Bicentennial. Now, in the summertime, you'll see a lot of people. They like to run up and down those stairs. They like to run up and down the hill. There's actually a dead patch in the grass going straight up from people running on it all day long in the summertime. People also sled down the hill in the winter. That might have something to do with it too. But I will say, guys, little advice, if you ever see me running up those stairs, you better run too. Because somebody's chasing me. There ain't no way, right?
What's that? Justice for Bennett.
So So again, for those of you that have been with me, I told you earlier when we were going through the Gulch that Nashville has grown and expanded tremendously in the last couple of decades. So we're going to see another really good example of at least the expansion as we make our way into this next neighborhood. So as we're rolling up James Robinson here, this road that's kind of parallel to us, block to our right, 25 years ago, this road to our right is where the Nashville city limits used to end. Anything beyond this point, at least to the northwest, it was basically considered to be unincorporated territory. It just wasn't a part of the city of Nashville. Now that's going to be some really good background info to know for once we get into Capitol View. But before we roll into Capitol View, we have the privilege of passing Frankie Pierce Park. So Frankie Pierce Park, we'll see it in a second once you get to the train bridge here. It's made up of 3 sections. So from where we are towards the back is just a regular park. It's got benches, a volleyball court, just a spot for people who live in the area to enjoy being outside. The middle of it has this kind of interesting modern style children's playground. My favorite part of the park though, and we'll see if we get lucky here at the front, they have a beautiful dog park. And again, let's see if we get lucky. It's a Tuesday afternoon. One little doggo out there today.
Oh,
look at that. This is named after Frankie Pierce. And you'll see a couple murals of her on the left and right here. She was a major leader for the women's suffrage movement here in Tennessee back in 1920.
women's suffrage.
Coming up here, y'all. This is Capitol View. Take a good look around. Everything you see here, the buildings, the roads, the landscaping, all of this. It was only built within the last decade. This neighborhood, it's beautiful, right? Well, we're rolling through what used to be called Hell's Half Acre. Yeah, this was unincorporated territory. Now what that meant was there were no police, no fire departments, no hospitals. This was literally a lawless land. It's like the Wild West over here. Well, eventually the mayor stepped in, wanted to kind of redevelop the neighborhood. And today, Capitol View here, it went from being called Hell's Half Acre. This is now ranked as one of the top 20 neighborhoods to live in the entire nation. Yeah, there's some cool little dining options here. You got seafood on the right, tacos on the left, craft burgers on the forward left, barbecue down the street. Yeah, really cool neighborhood if you want to grab something to eat. So this is going to be our stop number 13, folks. Welcome to Capitol View. Nobody wants to check out Hillside. So Marathon Village used to be the home of this company called Southern Engine and Boiler Works. And back in 1902, the executives of this company were astounded at the idea of this brand new horseless carriage, the car. So they hired this 30-year-old engineer, William Collier, to design a car for him. He was a really smart guy, and he worked really hard. In 1904, they released a newsletter to talk about the progress he had made with the car, and it said Collier's machine should move, but it don't. Well, poor Collier, he kept on working, tried harder, and a couple years later, 1906, he finally made one that did move, and they called it the Marathon car. If you look at your screens here, I've got some pictures of Marathon Village, Marathon Motors over the years. So guys, they made some really high quality vehicles, but they did not last very long. Now they shut down, they went bankrupt only a few years later because they couldn't keep up with production. A certain up-and-comer out of Michigan, Mr. Henry Ford, was introducing his Model T and the assembly line. Because the assembly line, Henry Ford mass-produced his Model T, sold it for half the price of the Marathon car. In today's money, the car on your screens there, it would run you about $41,000. The Model T would only cost you about $20,000. Now, legend has it, only 9 of these Marathon cars still exist in the entire world today. 6 of those 9 are on display coming up here in Marathon Village, along with 3 distilleries, a winery, a candy store, the Jack Daniel's General Store, and a really cool place called Antique Archaeology. Anybody here familiar with the show American Pickers? Yep, Antique Archaeology is where Mike and Frank brought all their southern antiques right here in Nashville. You can walk into the store, a lot of stuff's featured on the shelf. Basically like a local shopping mall. So it's all local businesses inside. There's tons of shops here. And the building is also a museum. So they have on display throughout the entire building the original machinery and equipment they used to manufacture those cars back in the day. You can see all of that for free. You don't have to pay a single cent to go check that out. You also don't have to pay a single cent to go see those 6 Marathon cars, which are across the street from our stop number 1 in that brick building on the floor left. Guys, a couple things as you roll up here. I just want to give you a heads up. This trolley is leaving at 1:20. 104 right now, so you have some time. You want to step off, use some restrooms, grab a bite to eat at the deli inside or the candy shop. You've got some time to do that. Now, whether you stay aboard, whether you hop off, I do have a little bit of bad news or good news, depending on how you look at it. They will be replacing me with a less handsome conductor. I do apologize, but guys, don't worry. You're getting my good friend Hutch. Hutch is great. He actually just got his license back today. Good luck. I'm just kidding, guys. Hutch is a lot of fun. He's actually the conductor here in the company who's been here the longest. So you're going to get a great tour from Hutch. But guys, thank you so much. You guys have been an absolutely wonderful group. So amazing. Guys, thanks for letting me show you Nashville here. And this is going to be our stop number 1. Welcome to Marathon Village.
So this is another stop. So we went to this Marathon Automobile Village. And you can see here some really old or antique gas cans, gas pump like this. The old automobiles that is made by Ford that was mentioned earlier by the conductor. Parang ang hirap nila i-drive. Parang gusto ko na lang maglakad kung ganito lang man yung sasakyan. Parang pero they are very sturdy if you're just going to check it. Ano pa siya? Buhay pa. Kaya siguro okay lang. Yan siya. By the way, this is free. So wala pong bayad but you don't have a tourist guide when you go here. So walang nagbabantay or you don't have anyone to guide you or enlighten what you need to ask. There are just some yung mga babasahin dyan about the information of the vehicles. By the way, other parts of this video, the first, the second, and other parts that are coming will be on the description below, so that you will be guided accordingly. And there are some informations there that I haven't mentioned on other parts of the video. In this, it is shown on how changing of gear works on the vehicles before. Thank you all for supporting my premiere. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. That way it will help grow my channel. So we're heading to the other building of this tour.